All right, it is Money Monday from Mountain America Credit Union here today. We're continuing our discussion about credit this month, and Rachel here, Langlois? Langlois, okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like a wild French pronunciation or something. Rachel's with us this afternoon talking about some of these credit issues, and so many people have questions about credit. What are some of the initial considerations to look at when it comes to getting credit? How do you do that?
Well, I think something that's really important is oftentimes we don't think about building our credit until we want to use it, until we want that car loan, we want to get that mortgage. But really, we need to start well in advance, years in advance, building that credit and developing a history so that our lenders can see that we're responsible with the money that we have been given.
I know that I get these all the time in the mail. You get these flyers that say, you're pre-approved for this much credit, or you're pre-approved for this. What do you do about those offers in the mail that come in?
Well, what we advise is for people to be smart, to read the small, tiny print. Oftentimes, if an offer seems too good to be true, it often is.
It usually is, right?
It usually is. And so we advise people to go into their financial institutions, the place where they bank and have their checking or credit cards already, and work with them to establish greater credit. I think sometimes we also get tempted by those store cards.
Oh, sure.
And I love a good discount like anyone else, but I think we need to be careful and pay attention because most of them have extremely high interest rates. If we're even one day late, you know, there's a giant fee put on and our interest rate increases quite substantially. So I think some of the things that we can do to work to establish credit is think simple. You know, we can start with a small limit credit card, $500. If we can't qualify for a traditional credit card, what we can do is work with our institution and have what's called a secured credit card. And what that means is that we actually make a cash deposit to that account.
So it's like another bank account essentially, right?
Exactly, but you're still able to use that card like a traditional credit card, and with that you're able to develop a history of making your payments on time and in full. Also, we suggest starting with a small personal loan, such as a car loan. And if you don't have a credit history, you can easily get one by using a cosigner or coming in with a significant down payment.
Right. So on the other side of that, say you've managed your money well and you've had credit for a long time, and say you want to extend credit. Maybe you want to do a big home renovation or something. How do you go about extending your credit limits?
I think that's a great question. Something that we need to think about is, can you handle the temptation that comes with a credit and increasing credit limit? If you can handle the temptation, I think what you need to do is establish at least 6 months of perfect payment history.
Right.
And then once you've done that, be careful of what's called credit utilization. 30% of your credit score comes from the amount that you owe versus the amount that lenders are willing to give you. So for example, you never want to go above 50%. So if your credit card is at a limit of $1,000, try not to charge more than $500 against that at any given time. Try to never ever max out a credit card. That reflects very negatively upon your credit score. So once you've done that, once you've established that history and you're ready to stay within those utilization limits, you know, talk to your lender, explain what you're looking for, and they can help you get there.
And that's when you can get a little bit further. Mountain America Credit Union joining us for Money Monday, as they do every time about this time each week. Rachel, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Lori.